Hey everybody, PipGirl Gaming here. I don't know how many of you saw my very first video. After posting it and after having some people watch it, they have told me that my game audio was way too loud and you could barely hear me. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and redo that last video. Not like word for word or anything, but I'm going to show you about the vendors. I'm going to show you about the crafting for both the weapons, the armor, the ammo, and if we get lucky enough, maybe there will be a nuke drop and you can see that as well, just like we showed you in that video. But we're going to do just like I did last time. We're going to come over here to my vendor area. Now this is where I do mine. You can have your setup however you want. A lot of people just have them set up outside. They don't actually have them in a building. I'm going to start with the loot. Now loot, for me, you don't have to have them in like this. This is just how I do it, so I know where everything goes. This is where I do my plans at for certain things. If it doesn't have something to do with an actual like piece of armor or a actual weapon, I will put it in here. Mods for weapons I will also put in here. We also have Bobble Heads, which there are quite a few different Bobble Heads in the game. Right now, the lockpicking is the only one I have for sale. I also put Kims, which is like the Fury, the Med-X, the Mentats, the Rad-X, the Radaway in here. I will also put food or water or drink items in here whenever I have any extras. And then I will also sell my stim packs in here as well. Right now I have 83 of them just because I picked them up so much on the thing. I will go ahead and show you how I do this. So let's see. I have 8 mut chops. Let's do wolf ribs. I will go ahead and sell 3 of these just to show you what to do. You just select the one that you want to do. Press A for sell. You accept however many you want to sell. I want 3, so we do this. Then you set the price item. Now, this food, I don't sell it for very much, so I'm just going to put it down as 5. That way the lower levels can get food without having to know the recipes for it. Because in order to craft food, which I'll actually talk about this later, you do need to know recipes. Certain recipes. Other things you don't need to know the recipes, but the majority of the foods you do need to know a recipe in order to craft it. Or cook it, I guess is the right word for it. I also have quite a bit of items you can find out in the world that is like pre-war items is what they call them. But I think I'm going to keep these just because there are some challenges, which I'm going to be talking about in my next video, where I have to consume them. So I'm not going to actually eat those right now. I'll talk about that in the crafting section. Then we come over here to the ammo. This is where I put all my ammo that I have for sale. Now, as you see, everything, just about everything, is 1 cap a piece. This is because this is what the majority of people sell the ammo for. The only things that I do not sell for 1 cap a piece are my mini nukes, my missiles, and my cores, whether they be plasma cores or fusion cores. Now, the mini nukes normally go for 100. I sell them for only 25. I actually go through them quite a bit. These are the ones that have been in here the longest. Missiles I sell for 5. Not many people use missiles, so I might end up having to just drop these someplace because I don't think I'm going to get much out of them. And then cores, which I actually don't have any right now. I think they value at 162. I normally sell them for 50. And they go like hotcakes. As soon as somebody sees I have cores, whether it be fusion cores, especially if you're a power armor build, or a plasma core, which is for the miniguns and certain, I believe Gatling laser does plasma cores. They sell like hotcakes. But I'm actually going to show you how to do that too, because I have some ammo I need to sell. Same thing as the other one. Now this, you just set the quantity. I'm going to set it for all of them. Switch it to 1 cap. Put it in there. And then do the same thing for all these. Most of them are set for 1 cap. There are only, I say 5 or 6 of them, besides the larger ones that I sell for a different price, that you do need to change it from whatever it says it's valued at to what it's selling for. Now, I keep my 44s only because right now my lower level character, my 25 level character, does take 44, so I keep those on me to give to my lower level character. My 556s, I have a friend that I sell, that I give those to help her out. And then, oh, I actually have plasma recording in my one friend. I keep my shotgun shells only because my lower level will be using shotgun shells, and I want to have a decent supply of them once it's time to go to my shotgun build. Now, next up, we're going to go to armor. Now, for this, a lot of people use a website called Fed76 for finding out how much you should sell stuff for. Now, plans they do not have is basically just the actual armor itself, like say the Raider armor here, or the heavy combat armor, or the, I guess, Raider left leg. I don't know if power armor is in there or not. I don't believe it is. But so any of these plans, I just kind of sell for about 100 caps less than what it says to sell it for. Sometimes I'll do half of what it is. It, like say it says for 300 caps, I'll do it for 150. Kind of just depends on what it is. And it also depends like on these jetpacks. Jetpacks say for 3,000. I sell them for 1,000 just because I don't know. People say to sell them for less than that, but I just feel like a lot of people go for those jetpacks, and so I thought maybe I could get them. If it comes down to it where nobody's buying them, I will send them down to a cheaper level after a while. But as far as these actual pieces of armor go, I use Fed76. A lot of people do. Now, I actually was just made aware of this. I thought that Fed76 gave you PC prices and you should go lower than what Fed76 tells you. I'm actually now being told that you should go higher than what Fed76 tells you. So my prices are actually lower than what Fed76 says right now. And I will say Fed76 gives you prices for 3-star items. Like say this Scout armor here is a 3-star. So I usually only try to sell 3 stars. I do sell a couple 2 stars if it's a good one like Unyielding or Vanguard. But I usually just stick to the 3-star. But so like I think on here this piece of armor it says to sell for like 2,500 or 3,000 on Fed76, so I only have it listed as 2,000. It's actually not selling, so I might end up taking it down a little bit once I feel like I need to get rid of some stash, which I don't think I do right now. I'm almost 550 pounds under stash weight, so right now it's not a big deal to me. I'll just keep it what it is. And like I said, like I have 3 stars, basically, that's all I have. Like see, this one is only 350 because on Fed76 it says I believe this one is only like $1,000 or maybe $850. I'm not 100% positive what it said, but I do know it was a very low number, so I only have it listed as 350. So I actually don't have any armor to put in my vendor right now, so we'll just go over to the weapons. Same goes for weapons. I go to Fed76. I see what they have the weapons listed as. I go under right now. I am going to verify that you're supposed to go over what the Fed76 is telling you, because I thought for sure PC prices were higher than console prices. So I will double check for that, and I will let you guys know in the next video. But I don't believe I have any legacies in my vendor right now. There are legacies, which are guns that will not be coming back into the game that they've taken out. So if you have a legacy, like say you trade it for something that was like really rare, or you just happen to, get lucky and find one in somebody else's vendor that they don't realize is a legacy, you should definitely buy it if you have the caps for it and keep it. It's something that you can use for trading for something else that you really want, like a certain gun. Also, you can use it for trading for certain plans that are rare, certain pieces of armor. You do want to keep those legacies if you find them. It's going to be harder for newer players, but you might still get lucky and find one in somebody's vendor for a cheap price that doesn't know what they have. Then, trying to think, I don't believe I have any weapons right now. Nope, don't have any weapons to sell either. So that is it for the vendors. I will let you know you do need to have power running to these. So I have them all connected to this connector in my wall, just so that they can be running. And I have them connected to a generator that's back here protected so nothing can attack it. So you do, though, need it connected. Although I think they've changed it now, so even if it doesn't have power, you can still use it. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I do believe they've changed that. So this is my crafting section. I talked about this in the last video where there are different styles of crafting stations. There are like 5 or 6 different cooking stoves, cooking stoves. There are, I believe, 3 different weapons, ammo, and chemistry. But I think there might be actually 1 more of each of the weapon and the armor, but I could be wrong on that. So it might be 4 of those. But this is just kind of what it looks like. These are the fermenter and the brewing station. I actually don't use these. I just have them down for anybody else that might need to use them if they're coming by my place. It's to make alcoholic beverages. There are some alcoholic beverages that give you bonuses, and depending on your build will help you a lot. For my melee build, I actually had some alcohol that I used, high powered or high something Hefe. But since I don't use my melee anymore, I don't worry about it. Now, Scrapbox. Talked about this in the last video. Unlimited build, or unlimited weight. You can put all your scrap in here. Doesn't have to worry about being in the scrap and the stash box and taking up weight. Unlimited space in here. Put all your scrap in here. You can only get this via Fallout First. Now, if you decide that the scrap box and a couple of the other things is just not worth the money to pay for Fallout First anymore, once you cancel Fallout First, you will still get to keep the scrap box. However, you will not be allowed to put anything else in it. You will just be allowed to take it out. So just keep that in mind so that once your stash starts filling up with scrap, you don't want to take it out of the scrap box and put it in your stash. Just keep it in there until you use it all and then take it out. Definitely don't move it all until you have to. Then you have your stash box, which is just basically inventory, and you put all your extra stuff in here. 1,200 pound weight limit. Right now mine's only 659, so not bad. It's just a little over half. They just recently upgraded it from 800 stash limit to 1,200, so I was very happy when they did that because I was always right at the cap. So, as far as crafting goes, you do need, in order to craft things, depending on what it is, you will need to know the plan for it. You will need to know certain perk cards, because in order to craft certain tiers of guns or armor, you do need to know a perk card to learn those different tiers. And you'll need the components to craft it. So, let's say over here at the armor workbench, you want to do light armor. In order to do, like, say, the robot pieces, you will need to know the robot plans for armor. So if I didn't know the robot, like, see here, I only know one raider piece, which is really weird. I thought I knew more than that. So I need to find the raider left and right arm, the raider left and right leg, so I can get those and be able to have that as part of my challenges. But as you see, robot left arm, I need aluminum, circuitry, oil, rubber, and screw. So I need those 5 things in order to be able to craft these pieces. So it says I can craft them. Now, in armor, it's not so much that you need to know certain pieces or perk cards. In fact, I think all armor, you don't need to know any perk cards. So now, I'll take you over to the weapons, and I'll show you what I'm meaning by needing to know perk cards. For energy guns, you will need to have perk cards for science. Either science master, science, or science expert. Either rank 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. And the ranks depend on what level you are, I believe, or what level gun you want to build, I believe. So, like, well, maybe not. I guess it's just the bigger energy guns that require the higher ranks. But you still need to learn those. Plus, you need to know the tier levels. Like, you need to be able to do a tier 3 energy gun. Like, you cannot have, you know, what do I want to say? You can't have a level 45 if you don't know how to build level 45. So you need to be able to have that perk card in order to build the level 45. Then There are different kinds of weapons in here, all kinds of different weapons. I don't know very many. But ultrasight weapons are the ones where you use certain things like ultrasight to actually make the weapon. I'm short on steel, so I wouldn't be able to make this anyways. But when you want to craft things, you just go into perks. I don't keep my actual perk cards for crafting things on. They stay off until I need to make something. So see, you have science, and I'm rank 2, which is the highest you can be on regular science. I then have rank 1 science expert, rank 1 science master. When I need to craft these certain guns, I will then take one off of my intelligence up there, come down here, grab one of these, and put it up there. Then when I'm done crafting, I switch them out. Something you can do, that way you can keep the ones that you need. So see, like, I need first aid so I can have stim packs. I guess I can take that one off, actually. I need to get something else in that spot. Nerd Rage, so I have more damage resistance, more damage, and more AP regen. And then Gunsmith, so that my guns break slower. If you use guns, this is a good card to have. Some people say not to keep it on there, but I think just so your guns break slower and you don't have to keep repairing them out in the field, I think it's a good card. Then over here at the Tinker's Workbench, this is where you make ammo. You will need certain things. Most of the time it's gunpowder, lead, and steel. There are a few things where you don't need gunpowder, like the 50 caliber balls. Then you do have some things that take adhesive and aluminum and plastic, like the arrows, crossbow or regular arrows. Flares take acid. Harpoons take adhesive and steel and wood. So it's this kind of depends on what you need. What kind of ammo you need depends on what kind of components you need. You also can make phantom devices, which I've never made one of these, I don't think. I just haven't seen the use for it. Bulk is making the bulk recipes. Now, I don't do this just because, you know, I need this stuff to be able to make my guns and my weapons and things, or my armor and things. But some people do this so that they can sell it at a higher price. It's up to you. If you want to sell junk, you can do that. Camera. Now, you will find a broken ProSnap camera out in the field for a quest. You will need to craft or fix the broken camera, and then you can upgrade it into a I forget what mine is, a deluxe camera, I think it is. There's also another mod for it where you can make it at 200 millimeters so it zooms in more. And then you also need to craft film in order to take the photos that you need for your quests. You can also craft, this is actually something I'll get into later just because it is an event that doesn't happen very often. Energy ammo, explosive ammo, those all take different things that you need besides just like lead and stuff. Like my fusion cells that I use for my Tesla rifle needs copper and plastic. In fact, I'm going to make that right now. And then other things, the gifts is another event for during the holiday season. Grenades, mines, quest items that you will be told when you need to make these items during your quests, so don't worry about those until you need them. Souvenirs is something kind of that you pick up from different events during the year. And then ultrasight ammo. This is when you mod your weapons to do more damage to Scorched, whether it be just regular Scorched or the Scorched Beast Queen or the Scorched Beasts. They give a higher damage put out, and depending on what it is, it can also knock them back, I believe is what a couple of them do. Now this, you will need Flux, which you can only get Flux from going into the blast zone. So that's one thing I'm going to talk about here. When I'm going to go and see if there's a blast zone out there right now. Maybe go in there and show you guys. Actually, maybe I'll talk about that in another video too. I'm getting kind of close to my cutoff time. But you can craft just about every kind of ammo, regular ammo, plus fusion cells, fusion cores, and plasma ones that you need for any kind of gun. So, like, if I was to do it for my fixer, I would do this. But I would have to mod my fixer to take ultrasight ammo so before I can actually use it. So I'm actually not using it right now. I'm planning on it at a later time, but I want to do some other mods to it before I mod it to a prime receiver, which is what it's called when you use ultrasonic ammo. Well, step over here to the chemistry station real quick, finish up the video. In here, you can make chems, so that's under drugs. You can also boil water or make purified water. You can make your gunpowder from acid, I believe. Yep, acid and cloth. To have it, if you don't find it out in the wasteland, it's very easy to find though, to make your ammo. You can also make energy ammo, which is basically the fusion cores. I think you can also make plasma cores, but I don't have the recipe for that, so I can't make it right now. You can make a hallucinogen gas grenade. This is the only place you can make this kind of grenade. You cannot make it over at the Tinkerer's Workbench. Healing is where you can do like the blood packs, the disease cures, healing salves. You can make Rad-X's, all different kinds of Rad-X's, Radaway, stim packs, mutation serums. This is something I'm going to go into another video too, so I'm not going to go into it here, but we will get into a video just for that in another video. Nuked flora. This is what I was talking about. This flux. You pick up raw flux out in the blast zone. So you need to come back here and you need to make it into stable flux in order to use it to craft. So you need all these components: glowing mass, hardened mass, high radiation fluids, plus 10 raw flux. Depending on what flux it is, you need 10 of them for each of them. So you make sure if you want to get more than one stable, you need to have more than 10 raw. You do science projects. This is something for a challenge in the challenges. Then smelting is where you take ore and smelt it down into scrap. Like right now I have fertilizer because I have 10 spoiled vegetables on me. I'll go ahead and do that. But basically anytime you're out and you find an ore vein, use it or do it and press A on it. You will get ore, you bring it back here and you use acid if you have enough, and you can put it down to aluminum scrap, which is the only way you can use it to use for your components. You will find just the aluminum scrap out in the wasteland, but if you want to mine the ore, then mine the ore and you can get aluminum scrap for it, or from it. And then you have utility, which is a water filter. I have not ever gotten one of these, but I believe you can use it for something else. I think that's how you make your purified water. You do have to have a water filter for that. So I think that's the only bonus for having that, making that water filter. But that is it for the crafting today. I don't really know much about over here, so I'm not going to tell you guys much about these. I might do that in another video where I talk about the perks of the alcohol and stuff. But right now, it's just, I don't know much about it, so until I learn more about it, I don't really want to tell you guys much about it. So, but guys, that was the video for today. Let me see if there's a blast zone real quick before we head out. Oh, there is a blast zone. There's not one down there. So normally there is a blast zone down here surrounding Fissure Site Prime that I have my cursor over. This is where you fight the Scorch Beast Queen. It is a public event and you get treasury notes for it, which is another thing. But they'll bomb this area and then you can come down here and fight the Scorch Beast Queen. Then another popular site is right here, which is where there's one at. This is because of Managa Mine. In here, when you launch the nuke in this area, it will start a quest line for Colossal Problem, which means that you can go in here to the mine and kill a Wendigo Colossus. Very huge creature, kind of an ugly creature, three-headed thing. To get one of your other quest lines done, this came through with the Wastelanders deal or update, I believe. Maybe it was the other update, but I believe it was Wastelanders. Then another popular area that they like to do, which they haven't done in a while, is they will bomb here at White Springs because they will be a whole bunch of bloated glowing ones. That is like what you need to kill in order to get the high radiation fluids, the hardened mass, those things to make the ultracite ammo. So if you are really wanting to farm for flux and farm for the components that are needed to make your ammo for ultracite and also to make your ultracite weapons, you need to bomb White Springs, Scorchbeast Queen, and I believe Earl has quite a bit of stuff too, but they don't spawn a lot of glowing ones. So if you want to get the glowing ones, or regular, even the glowing animals will give you hardened mass too. I'm not sure about high radiation fluids, but I know they'll give you glowing mass. But you will want to go to the White Spring Golf Club because this gives you a lot of flux. It also gives you a lot of high level glowing bloated ones to kill. Now they are letting off radiation, of course. So plus while you're in the blast zone, you're going to want to have some kind of Rad-X taken. Plus, more than likely, your power armor, because not very many people have the Chinese health suit when you're lower level. And I would recommend not going into a blast zone until you're at least level 25, if not level 30, just because you're going to want a higher level, HP level, and you're going to want to have certain perk cards equipped to keep your radiation resistance down. Otherwise, you are going to die very, very quickly. But now, even though I said I wasn't going to do that, we are going to call that it for tonight, and I'm hoping this is a lot better audio quality than my last one. I will keep my other one up for a little bit, but I might end up taking it down once you guys have a look at this one. But we will see you tomorrow. Once again, if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell to know when I put up more videos. But we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!